There's smoke behind the tree line, painting shadows in the sky. A farmhouse burns so quietly, it almost looks alive. The fire doesn't hurry, it simply takes its time. The way your love kept stealing little pieces out of mine. I keep both hands upon the wheel, like I can still hold on to someone who disappeared long before they were gone. The mirror keeps reflecting orange flames behind, like every mile ahead still leaves the past in sight. Some fires in, some keep burning inside your memory. Ashes in the rearview mirror, the farther that I drive, the clearer they appear. You burned every promise until the sky turned black. Now every lonely highway still tries to lead me back. I smell smoke where there is none. That's what happens when the fire lives inside someone. The motel room is silent, except the humming light. I count the cracks above me until they blur from sight. Your hoodie hangs behind the door, though I don't know why. Maybe grief needs something it can still recognize. The coffee tastes like yesterday, the sunrise comes too late. Every morning asks me how much more I can take. The mirror by the sink shows a face I almost know, a woman built from sleepless nights in places I can't go. Ashes still fall like snow, covering every dream I used to know. Your voice is just an echo, but echoes still can't sting. Some wounds stop bleeding without ever healing. If I could lay my memories beside that dying flame, would the smoke carry away your touch, your voice, your name? Or would the wind return them before the morning light? Like every road I've taken ends in yesterday tonight. The fire's almost gone now, only embers glow. Maybe broken hearts don't heal all at once. Maybe they become small lights in the darkness, not bright enough first time you broke me, you held me while I cried. You kissed away the damage, you were the reason why. You built me little heavens, then burned them to the ground. And every time I left you, your voice pulled me around. I learned to call it passion, I learned to call it fate, never knowing love shouldn't hurt this way. You were the flame I mistook for warmth. I kept coming back to the fire. Every goodbye fed the desire. You burned my heart, then called me home. Now even without you, I'm burning alone. I know your love was never safe, but pain became my favorite place. The highway keeps unfolding like an endless black ribbon. Every mile reminds me of everything that's missing. The dashboard light is fading, my hands are cold as stone. I never feared the darkness until I drove alone. I hear your name in thunder, I see your face in rain. Every empty motel knows my middle name. I kept coming back like smoke to a flame, knowing every ending would end the same. You gave me just enough to make me stay, and took another piece of me away. Maybe I wasn't addicted to you. Maybe I was addicted to hoping you'd change. Maybe I kept confusing survival with love. Maybe that's why my heart still calls your name. Oh, oh, tonight I'll let the fire burn without me. Tonight I'll leave the ashes where they need to be. If love is supposed to set us free, then why did losing you feel like losing me? Some fires don't keep you warm, they only teach you how to live with the burn. The mountains hide their secrets beneath a veil of gray. Every ridge remembers price some hearts must pay. Coal dust covers everything, the porch, the boots, the sky. Just like your quiet leaving covered every part of mine. Your old truck crossed the valley and disappeared in fog. I waited with the porch light until the morning thawed. Even the dogs quit barking, even the pines stood still, like the whole world knew love could quietly kill. Some scars don't bleed, they settle like dust. There's cold dust on my halo. Heaven can't wash away what I carry low. I still hear your name rolling through the hills like thunder that lingers long after it's still. You buried your goodbye without a sound. Now every mountain echoes what I never found. The old mine road is empty, grass grows through the stone. Nature keeps reclaiming everything we owned. A faded red bandana still hangs upon the fence, like time forgot to gather all the evidence. The creek keeps running downhill, never looking back. I envy every river that never leaves a track. My hands smell like cedar, my heart smells like rain. Funny how love disappears but leaves behind its stain. There's cold dust inside my lungs, every prayer tastes like words unsung. I tried to outrun the life we knew, but every mountain trail still climbed to you. Still climbed to you. Maybe the hills aren't haunted by ghosts. Maybe they're haunted by every promise people couldn't keep. Maybe that's why the fog never lifts until morning learns your name. One day the rain will wash these roads. One day the pines will keep new hope. But tonight these mountains can keep your voice. I'll leave it drifting through the valley and carry only the heartbeat you couldn't bury. Never asked me to forget you. They only reminded me even stone can survive the storm. Dear girl, I couldn't save. safe. The flowers in your hair, you still believed that gentle words always meant gentle hands. You trusted every promise like spring trusted the sun. You thought forever could be built by loving hard enough. I wish I had protected the light inside your eyes before it learned to hide itself behind polite replies. I wasn't trying to lose you. Keep love alive. Dear girl, I couldn't save. I still carry your heart. I hear you in the silence when another midnight starts. I know I let you disappear inside somebody else's pain. I traded for endless clouds and rain. If I could rewrite one chapter, it wouldn't change goodbye. It would teach us both that love should never ask us to stop being alive. The old piano whispers your unfinished lullaby. The steel guitar remembers every night you cried. The photographs are fading, but your hopeful eyes remain, looking at tomorrow before it learned your name. The coffee tastes like winter, the curtains hide the dawn. Some mornings getting out of bed feels heavier than stone. Still I'll leave one window open, just enough for air, because somewhere I still believe you might return through there. Maybe hope isn't loud, maybe it only breathes. Dear girl, I couldn't save. Please don't be afraid of me. I'm not the stranger that heartbreak made me seem. I still remember how you laughed at storms before they came. Maybe one day I'll hear that sound without feeling shame. If another love ever finds this heart, may it speak with patience, may it stay without conditions, may it never ask for silence as the price of being loved. Dear girl, I couldn't save. Tonight I'll sit beside the empty chair you've left inside my restless mind. I can't return the years we lost or undo every scar, but I'll keep your name safe inside mine, exactly where you are. The felt piano settles into a soft, unresolved lullaby. metal steel sighs once across the silence. Rain falls gently beyond the window. A slow heartbeat remains. Dear girl, I'm still searching, but this time I'm searching for us. There was a time before the silence, before I learned to hide my pain, before I measured every word, before I questioned my name. I used to dance in the kitchen with the windows open wide. I used to believe tomorrow would always be on my side. Then I met your storms, and I called them rain. I held your broken pieces while I broke the same. I didn't notice myself leaving until there was nothing left to recognize. Before I became a stranger to myself, before I lost my voice trying to hear yours, I was a woman with a heartbeat, a soul with a dream, not just someone trying to make someone stay. I miss the girl I was before the pain became my home, before I learned how to feel alone. The piano falls softly like tears that learn to sleep. The steel guitar cries slowly for the promises I couldn't keep. Through the midnight air, a song about a woman who is finally learning care. The old mirror remembers every face I tried to hide, every time I said I'm okay. When I was falling inside, depression was a shadow walking beside my feet. But I found a little fire still burning underneath. Maybe healing isn't becoming someone new. Maybe it's finding who you always were. Before I became a stranger to myself, before I gave away every piece I held, I was more than your goodbye, more than your mistakes, more than every lonely night I survived away. I forgive the girl who forgot how to smile, who stayed in the darkness for a little while. She wasn't weak, she wasn't lost, she was just carrying more than she should. Now I know my name again, now I know my heart, now I know the darkness was never who I was. I still had still have scars, but I found a woman waiting in my heart. The felt piano fades. The felt piano fades into soft rain. The felt piano fades into soft rain. There was a time before the silence, before I learned to hide my pain, before I measured every word, before I questioned my name. I used to dance in the kitchen with the windows open wide. I used to believe tomorrow would always be on my side. Then I met your storms and I called them rain. I held your broken pieces while I broke the same. I didn't notice myself leaving until there was nothing left to recognize. Before I became a stranger to myself, before a soul with a dream, not just someone trying to make someone stay. I miss the girl I was before the pain became my home, before I learned how to feel alone. The piano falls softly like tears that learn to sleep. Steel guitar cries slowly for the promises I couldn't keep. Through the midnight air, a song about a woman who is finally learning care. The old mirror remembers every face I tried to hide, every time I said I'm okay when I was falling inside. Depression was a shadow walking beside my feet, but I found a little fire still burning underneath. I didn't notice myself leaving until there was nothing left to recognize. Before I became a stranger to myself, before I lost my voice, trying. I drove until the headlights forgot the shape of home. 100 little highways still left me here alone. Your voice lives in the silence between the radio, like every broken station only knows your ghost. Coffee in the cup holder, cold as yesterday. Another town behind me, but nothing really changed. I keep outrunning miles, I never outrun you. Every road I choose turns into the truth. Love shouldn't feel like chains, but you're still on my heart. Every road still leads to you, even when I leave. Every mile keeps is pulling me back to memories. You were my shelter, you became my storm. Now I'm freezing in the place that kept me warm. I'm tired of surviving, too empty to cry, driving through the darkness, waiting for sunrise. But every road still leads back to you. You loved me on the good days, you broke me on the bad. You called it forever, then treated me like glass. I learned to fear your silence, I learned to chase your smile. I spent my whole existence trying to make it worthwhile. Now every empty motel feels just like our room. The walls remember promises that never made it through. I sleep beside your shadow, I wake beside regret. No matter how I leave you, you haven't left me yet. Every road still leads to you, like I never left. Like every broken heartbeat still echoes in my chest. You were my addiction, you became my pain. I keep driving through the night just to end up there again. Maybe I don't miss you, maybe I miss who I was before loving you. Felt heavier than blood, before my laughter turned into smoke, before every promise ended with hope. Breaking, one day this road won't know your name. One day these headlights won't search the rain. One day my heartbeat won't rise from fear. One day the silence won't sound like you're here. Until that morning, I'll keep driving through this endless night that still smells like you. Wasn't leaving, it was carrying you into every tomorrow. Every morning I borrow my reflection from the woman standing in the glass. She knows how to answer when people ask, how have you been? She smiles before I do, she walks before I remember where I'm going. Sometimes I wonder if she's keeping me alive or replacing me one quiet day at a time. The hardest thing about surviving is waking up again. Every morning I wear a stranger's face, Button up another smile, tie another ribbon around yesterday. People say you're getting stronger. Maybe they're right, but strength shouldn't feel this empty. I don't miss you the way I miss feeling like myself. The piano falls like winter light across worn wooden floors. The steel guitar bends toward the silence, then disappears. High water flowers that never bloom, open curtains just to prove. Morning still exists, depression drinks from my coffee cup before I do, leaving only the bitter part. Some wounds don't bleed, they echo. Every morning I wear a stranger's face until the evening lets it fall away. Then I'm just a tired heartbeat sitting quietly with ghosts that know my name. Sometimes I whisper to the dark, if you're still in there, please don't forget me. If I could gather every forgotten version of myself from every goodbye, every apology, every sleepless night, I'd build a little home where none of them would ever have to disappear again. Tomorrow I'll still wake inside this borrowed skin, but maybe one tiny piece of the girl I lost will recognize the sound of my own heartbeat. Maybe that is how coming home begins. The felt piano. The felt piano. The pedal steel sighs into endless reverb. Rain falls softly beyond the window. One slow heartbeat, one long breath. If you see her, tell her I'm still waiting. I thought I was finished when you walked away. I thought all my colors had faded to gray. I looked at the pieces scattered on the floor and wondered if my heart could ever feel more. I blamed every weakness, I blamed every tear. I blamed the woman who stayed through the years. I thought I was broken, I thought I was lost. I counted the damage, I counted cost, but broken things can still carry light. I was still alive beneath the pieces, under the sadness, under the reasons. I thought you took everything when you left that night, but you couldn't take the fire inside. I was still breathing, I was still here, hidden beneath all the pain and the fear. The piano cries softly, like rain on the window. The pedal steel whispers a song from tomorrow. The acoustic guitar trembles through the empty room, like a forgotten flower starting to bloom. The walls know my crying, the floor knows my tears, the silence remembers all of those years. But the morning keeps coming, the sky still turns blue, and every new sunrise brings me back to you. Not the you I lost, the me I forgot. I was still alive beneath the pieces, even when nobody saw my weakness. I was more than the heartbreak, more than goodbye, more than the nights I begged myself to survive. I'll forgive the woman who couldn't let go, who held on to ashes because they felt like home. She wasn't foolish, she wasn't blind, she was just searching for love in the wrong place. I am still alive beyond the pieces, beyond the damage, beyond the reasons, the scars on my story, but they don't know me, the woman beneath them is finally free. The felt piano, the felt piano fades. The felt piano fades. The felt piano fades. The felt piano fades. I thought I was nothing, I thought I was nothing, but beneath the pieces, my heart was still beating. I was the ghost in my own life. I walked through my own doorway, like I didn't belong. living in a body that felt like someone gone. I knew all your favorite places, I knew all your favorite songs, but when the world asked about me, I couldn't answer for too long. I stopped making wishes, I stopped chasing dreams, I stopped asking questions about what I really needed. I became a quiet shadow, following every move, trying to find myself inside the love I gave to you. The saddest kind of loneliness is feeling invisible while someone is holding you. I was a ghost in my own life, breathing through the darkness, trying to survive. I was standing beside you, but miles away inside, losing little pieces every single night. You knew my tears, you knew my pain, but you never knew the person underneath. I was a ghost, waiting to come alive. The piano cries slowly, like rain against the wall. The pedals still bend softly for the dreams that had to fall. The acoustic guitar whispers through an empty room, a song about a woman finding her way back soon. The mirror used to scare me because I couldn't see her eyes. The girl who loved the sunrise, the girl who used to shine. Depression was a blanket, heavy over everything, but beneath all that silence, there was still a little spring. Sometimes the heart goes quiet, not because it stopped, because it is tired. I was a ghost in my own life. I forgot my reflection, I forgot my light. I thought your love was the only thing I had. I didn't know I could find myself again. piano still cries. One final beautiful note. The rain disappears. The silence becomes peaceful. I thought I was lost, but I was only waiting for myself to come home. I found an old song yesterday, and it sounded like my past. A voice I barely recognize, a girl I couldn't grasp. She sang about the ocean, she sang about the stars. She sang like she believed her heart could travel far. I wonder when she vanished, I wonder when she changed, when the person in the mirror started wearing someone else's name. I kept all of your memories, I kept all of your dreams, but somewhere in the middle I forgot about me. I wasn't broken all at once, I faded piece by piece. I became a memory of the person I once was, a picture in an old frame, a story covered in dust. I remember her laughter, I remember her eyes, but I don't remember the moment she said goodbye. I gave you my tomorrow, I gave you everything, but I forgot the little girl who used to believe. The piano cries softly like rain inside my room. The acoustic guitar whispers through the silence after you. Your footsteps are gone now, your voice is getting weak, but the hardest ghost to face is the one staring back at me. I don't wanna chase yesterday, I don't wanna go back, I just wanna find the woman hidden underneath the cracks, the one who still has courage, the one who still can dream, the one who knows that healing doesn't mean forgetting everything. I became a memory, but I'm becoming real again. Through the tears and the darkness, through the places I've been, I am not just what happened, I am not just what I lost, I am more than a goodbye, more than a broken heart. Dear girl inside the mirror, I know you feel unknown, I know you miss the person you used to call your home. But look at all you've survived, look at how far you've come. Your heart is still beating, your story isn't done. I became a memory, but now I write my name. Not the girl from before, not the girl full of pain. I carry thought I was only a memory, but I was still here, waiting to become myself again. I buried my name beneath your memories. I found my old handwriting inside an old cardboard box. A letter to myself from before I forgot. The words look like a stranger. The dreams felt far away. A girl who believed tomorrow would be a brighter day. She wrote about oceans, she wrote about songs, she wrote about a future where she still belonged. I wondered when I traded her beautiful little world for a life built around being someone's girl. I didn't lose myself all at once. I disappeared in pieces. I buried my name beneath your memories, covered it with promises and apologies. I carry your shadows like they were my own, built you a home while mine became stone. Now I'm standing here, digging through the pain, searching for the woman who still answers to my name. The piano whispers slowly through the midnight air. The steel guitar cries softly like a prayer nobody hears. The acoustic strings remember every night I stayed awake, every tear I swallowed, every smile I had to fake. The bedroom still holds echoes, the walls still know my fear, but something feels different because I'm still here. Depression was a river I thought would never end, but even the darkest water eventually reaches land. Maybe healing isn't forgetting, maybe it's finally remembering who you were. I buried my name beneath your memories, but the earth is opening and I'm finally free. The girl I abandoned is calling me home. She says you were never meant to carry this alone. I forgive the woman who stayed too long. She was not weak, she was not wrong. pieces of her face. I buried my name, but it never disappeared. It waited beneath the silence. It waited through the years. Now every morning I say it out loud. Not because I'm healed, not because I'm proud, but because I'm learning. After everything, my name was always mine. The felt piano plays a fragile final melody. The felt piano plays a fragile final melody. The felt piano plays a fragile final melody. I found my old handwriting inside an old cardboard box. I found my old handwriting inside an old cardboard box. I found my old handwriting inside an old cardboard box. A letter to myself from before I forgot. The words looked like a stranger. The dreams felt far away. A girl who believed tomorrow would be a brighter day. She wrote about oceans. She wrote about songs. She wrote about a future where she still belonged. I wondered when I traded her beautiful little world for a life built around being someone's girl. I didn't lose myself all at once. I disappeared in pieces. I buried my name beneath your memories, covered it with promises and apologies. I carry I disappeared slowly. Nobody noticed. I became a shadow inside my own home. I laughed when I was hurting. I smiled when I was breaking. I became someone else just to keep you from leaving. I carried your silence, I carried your storms. I learned how to survive by becoming small. I looked in the mirror, but I couldn't see me. Just a tired reflection of who I used to be. Sometimes the deepest darkness is where the lost parts wait for you. I came back to myself in the dark, found my heartbeat among the scars. I thought I was empty, I thought I was gone, but there was a little light still holding took my tomorrow, you took my dreams, but you couldn't take the woman inside me. The piano cries softly like rain falling slow. The pedal steel whispers things my soul needed to know. The acoustic guitar trembles through the midnight air, a song for the woman who thought nobody cared. The room used to haunt me, the silence felt cold. Now the choir reminds me I am my own home. Depression still visits when the nights become long, but I know every morning I can keep moving on. I was never lost forever, I was only waiting to return. I came back to myself in the dark, collected my pieces, one broken part. I stopped chasing shadows, I stopped begging for proof, I stopped asking others if I deserve to be loved. I forgive my heart for staying too long. I forgive my tears for believing the wrong song. I forgive the girl who couldn't see the person she needed was always me. I came back to myself in the dark, not the same woman, but stronger by far. The scars are still singing, the memories remain, but they no longer control me like yesterday. The felt piano, the felt piano was where I disappeared. But it was the place where I found myself again. I chased your ghost until I lost my own shadow. I followed your footsteps to places you forgot, held on to conversations that meant nothing after all. I searched through old pictures, I searched through old songs, trying to find the moment where everything went wrong. I memorized your silence, I studied every scar, I knew every reason you kept me feeling far. But nobody warned me about the price I would pay, losing myself completely, trying to make you stay. I was running after your shadow while mine was was disappearing. I chased your ghost until I lost my own shadow. I kept looking behind me and forgot where I was going. I carried your memories like a weight on my soul. I held on to your love until I had nothing to hold. But somewhere beneath the sadness, somewhere under the pain, there was still a heartbeat calling my name. The piano falls slowly, like tears in the dark. The pedal steel cries softly over every broken part. Through the empty room, like a song from the woman I thought I lost too soon. The mirror looks different, the eyes look tired, but I see something glowing. A little forgotten fire. Depression still visits. Some nights it feels strong, but I know now the darkness doesn't own me. I spent years searching for someone to come back. I never noticed I was the one I abandoned. I chased your ghost until I lost my own shadow. I begged for your love while forgetting my value. I gave you my sunrise, I gave you my rain, I gave you my healing and carried your pain. I forgive the woman who kept running, who kept hoping, who kept breaking. She wasn't foolish, she wasn't weak, she was just trying to find something to keep. But now she turns around, now she sees the truth. The person she was chasing was a self all along. I stopped chasing your ghost, I stopped living in yesterday. I stopped letting memories steal my name away. The shadow I lost is walking beside me. The heart I abandoned is finally free. The felt piano fades. The felt piano find you. I forgot I was the one who needed saving. I don't know her anymore. I looked into the mirror, but I didn't see my face. Just a stranger standing there, trying to find her place. The girl I used to know used to laugh without fear. Now she hides behind her eyes and disappears. I still walk through the rooms corner feels like a different memory. I lost more than your love when you walked away. I lost the person who knew what to say. I keep searching for the girl I was before, but every time I find her, she feels like someone I don't know anymore. I don't know her anymore. The girl inside my skin, she used to believe in forever. She used to let people in. Now she's just a shadow of a life we left behind. Trying to remember what was hers and what was mine. I lost you, and somehow I lost me. Now I'm learning how to find the person I used to be. The piano plays softly, like rain against the window. The acoustic guitar whispers a song I used to know. I keep old photographs like pieces of a dream, trying to understand who that girl used to be. She had so much color, she had so much light. Before love turned into silence, before goodbye. I don't hate you, I don't blame you anymore. I just miss the woman who walked through that door. I don't know her anymore, but I know she's still inside, buried under memories and all the tears she cried. Maybe she is waiting for a reason to return. Maybe she is healing from everything she learned. I lost you, but I won't lose me. I'll find the girl beneath the broken memories. If I could hold her, I would tell her you were never gone. You were only hiding, waiting for the pain to move on. I know her again, slowly, piece by piece, through the quiet mornings, through the nights of peace. I lost someone I loved, but I found something true. The person I was searching for was always me, not you. I thought losing you, but I was only lost, waiting to come home. Waiting to come home. I found a little mirror hidden in an old drawer. I saw a girl girl smiling like she had nothing to mourn. She had dreams in her pockets, she had stars in her eyes. She believed every morning was a chance to rise. I don't know when it happened, I don't know when I changed. When my laughter got quieter, when my colors became gray. I only know I woke up after you were gone, and I couldn't remember where I belonged. I lost more than a lover, I lost the light inside. I forgot the way I used to shine before your goodbye, before I learned to hide. I forgot the sound of my own happiness, the feeling of being alive. I spent so long chasing your heart, I forgot mine. Now I'm searching through the darkness for the girl I left behind. The piano cries softly like rain against the window. The acoustic guitar whispers a song from long ago. The house is full of echoes, but they don't sound like you. They sound like all the pieces of the old me coming through. I miss the girl who danced alone, I miss the girl who dreamed, I miss the heart that believed life was more than what it seemed. Maybe she is waiting underneath my pain. Maybe she is learning how to breathe again. I forgot the way I used to shine, but I see it tonight, a small little spark still alive inside. I thought you took everything, I thought you took my light, but you only covered it with a long, lonely night. Dear old me, I know you are tired, I know you feel lost, I know you've been fighting, but look how far you've walked. You survived the silence, you survived the rain. You are still here, and that means everything. I remember the way I used to shine, not the same as before, but brighter in a different light. I lost the love, I lost the dream, I lost the person I thought I'd be, but I found the heart that was always inside me. I thought you were my light, but I forgot I had my own. I kept your side of the table even after you left. kept all your old letters, I kept every regret. I told myself someday you might come back around, so I protected your memory like sacred ground. I watered dead flowers, I waited through the rain, I held on to a love that only knew my pain. I didn't know I was building a prison made of hope. I didn't know I was holding a heart that needed to let go. I was saving a place for someone who was gone, while forgetting I was still here. I kept a place for you inside a heart you broke. I carried your shadows like they were my own. I gave you my forgiveness, I gave you my soul, but I forgot the most important thing. I was worth coming home to. I don't hate the memories, I don't erase the truth, but I won't spend forever waiting for you. The piano cries softly like rain on an empty street. The pedal steel bends slowly like a heart learning to breathe. The acoustic guitar whispers through the walls of this room like a forgotten version of the person I once knew. The nights were the hardest, the silence felt so deep. Depression was a language only my heart could speak. But every morning after every sunrise I survived was proof that something in me was still alive. The heart that breaks can become the heart that rebuilds. I kept a place for you inside a heart you broke, but now I fill the empty spaces with the love I never showed. I stopped waiting by the doorway, I stopped counting the days, I stopped believing your love was my only way. To the woman in the mirror, I know you feel tired, I know you feel empty, I know you feel lost, but look at what you survived. Look at how far you came. You are not the ruins, you are the rebuilding. I kept a place for you inside a heart you broke, but that heart kept beating even when hope was gone. Now every empty corner belongs to me again, and the person I was missing was the one I needed then. The felt piano fades beneath the sound of rain. The pedal steel cries softly into endless reverb. kept a place for you, until I realized my heart was waiting for me. I held my breath for years, waiting for your love, waiting for a moment when I would be enough. I measured every word, I softened every truth, I changed every part of me, trying to fit with you. I forgot the sound of laughter, I forgot the taste of peace, I forgot that a heart was never meant to beg. I thought when you left me, the world would disappear, but the sky was still above me, and I was still here. Sometimes losing someone is how you finally find yourself. I learned to breathe after losing you. I found the air I thought I lost with you. I stopped chasing shadows, I stopped fighting the past, I stopped holding on to something that couldn't last. You were a chapter, you were not my whole story. You were a storm, not the end of me. The piano cries softly, like rain on an empty street. The pedal steel is crying with every memory. The words I couldn't say about the girl who survived another lonely day. The house feels quieter, but not like before. The silence isn't painful, it feels like an open door. Depression still finds me when the night feels cold, but I know my own heartbeat can keep me whole. I spent so long trying to save a love that forgot to save me. I learned to breathe after losing you. I found my voice after years of being muted. I found my reflection, I found my name. I found a heart that survived the rain. I forgive the nights I begged you to stay. I forgive the tears I hid away. I forgive the girl who couldn't see the love she needed was already inside of me. I learned to breathe, I learned to breathe, I learned to heal, I learned to heal, I learned that broken doesn't mean unreal. The scars are reminders, the pain is a road, but I don't carry your darkness anymore. The felt piano fades in you. We're take my breath away. But it was the first time I finally learned to breathe. I found an old photograph hidden underneath my bed. A girl with brighter eyes and no fear inside her head. She wasn't waiting for a message. She wasn't afraid of goodbye. She wasn't measuring her worth by someone else's eyes. I touched that picture softly, like meeting someone new, wondering how she disappeared, trying to love you. The saddest thing about losing yourself is you don't notice until you're gone. I miss the person I was before I needed you, before my happiness depended on what you would do, before I apologized for the feelings that I had, before I thought losing myself was the price of loving you back. I don't miss the hurting, I don't miss the pain. I miss the woman who knew her own name. The piano cries slowly through the empty midnight air. The steel guitar bends gently like a heart learning repair. Old memories in the dark, every broken little promise, every hidden scar. The house feels different now, the silence feels less cold, maybe empty spaces, oh, where new stories grow. Depression still knocks sometimes on the windows of my mind, but I don't open every door like I did before. I thought letting go meant losing everything. Maybe it means making room to breathe. I miss the person I was before I needed you, the girl who laughed freely, the girl who trusted the moon. She isn't dead, she isn't gone, she was just buried under everything I carried on. I forgive myself for staying, for hoping, for believing. I forgive the heart that didn't know it deserved more. Love shouldn't feel like disappearing. Love shouldn't leave you looking for yourself. I miss the person I was before I needed you, but I'm becoming someone even stronger than I knew. The scars are still here, the memories remain, but they don't get to decide who I become again. The felt piano plays one last lonely melody. pedal steel cries softly into endless reverb. Rain stops. The room becomes quiet. I thought I lost myself because I lost you, but I was waiting to find me again. You were standing beside me, but I felt alone. Two hearts in one room, but neither felt home. I held on to memories of who we once were, chasing old feelings that no longer occurred. I watched your eyes fading, I heard your silence grow. I felt myself losing you long before you let go. I kept writing letters I never would send, talking to a version of you from back then. Sometimes goodbye begins long before someone leaves. I'm on the love that was still breathing, held a funeral for something still living. I cried for the person you used to be. I lost myself trying to bring back a dream. I stayed with the memories, I stayed with the pain. I stayed in a storm, waiting for rain. But love shouldn't feel like holding a ghost, trying to save something that was already lost. The piano cries softly like a midnight confession. The pedal steel bends slowly under the weight of depression. Through the empty hall, a song for the woman who gave everything all. The photographs remain, the old songs still play, but they don't have the power to hurt me the same way. The nights are still heavy, the silence still comes, but I no longer confuse pain with love. I wasn't losing you, I was losing myself, trying to keep you. I'm on the love that was still breathing. I held on to ashes, calling them healing. I begged for a heartbeat inside something cold. I've forgotten my own heart was growing old. I forgive the girl who couldn't accept the end, who kept opening doors for someone who wouldn't walk in. She wasn't foolish, she wasn't weak, she wasn't weak, she wasn't weak. She was just afraid of what freedom would mean. I stopped mourning the love that stopped I stopped holding on to something leaving. The tears are still memories, the scars are still mine, but I found my way back, one breath at a time. I learned to read your silence before I learned my own. I knew when you were leaving before you touched the door. I memorized your sadness, I carried all your storms. While my own heart was drowning, I told it to hold on. I became the person you needed me to be, and somewhere in the process I lost the girl inside of me. I kept changing my reflection, hoping you'd finally see me. I spent my life trying to be enough for someone who's never full. I gave away my mornings, I gave away my truth. I gave you every version of the woman I could become, but every time I reached you, I was farther from myself. Now I'm standing in the silence with nothing left to prove, and I'm learning I was always enough without you. The piano falls like raindrops on a cold wooden floor. The steel guitar is crying like a heart behind a door. The old house keeps breathing through another lonely night. The shadows know my secrets, the moon knows when I cry. Coffee by the window, blanket around my shoulders. Another day surviving, another night getting older. Depression isn't thunder, it's a quiet falling snow, covering everything slowly until you forget what used to glow. Maybe the person I lost was the person I protected least. I spent my life trying to be enough, trying to earn a love that hurt, calling every broken moment something I deserved. I blame my own heart for needing something real, when all it ever wanted was a place where it could heal. If I could hold myself from all those years ago, I'd say, you don't have to shrink, you don't have to disappear. The right hands will hold you without asking you to bleed. I spend my life trying to be enough. Now I spend my nights finding me, not the girl before the heart survive the darkness and still remember stars. I wasn't too hard to love, I was just lost, trying to be loved by the wrong heart. The keys are still on the table where you left them that night, beside an empty coffee cup under the kitchen light. I thought you'd come back running, I thought you'd change your mind. I thought a love like ours couldn't disappear overnight. The chair is still pulled backward, like someone just stood up, like the room is still waiting for a person who gave up. I kept the door unlocked for longer than I should, waiting for a goodbye that I already understood. Funny how the heart can hear footsteps that never come. The keys are still on the table, but you don't have the door. Your name is still inside me, but I don't need it anymore. I spent so many nights trying to save us from the fall. I forgot I was the one who needed saving after all. You left your shadow behind, you left your memories too, but the only thing I'm taking is the part of me that survived you. The hallway holds your pictures, the walls remember fights, the ceiling heard my crying in the middle of the night. I became so good at hiding the pain behind my eyes. Nobody knew the difference between my truth and lies. I wore your disappointment like a necklace on my skin. I apologize for storms I never brought within. I kept shrinking smaller just to make you feel tall, until I couldn't recognize my reflection at all. The keys are still on the table, the house is still the same, but something in my heartbeat doesn't answer to your name. The love we had was real, even if it couldn't stay. Some beautiful things still break away. Tonight I pick up the keys, not yours, mine. I open every window and let in a different sky. I don't need revenge, I don't need you to see. The greatest thing I lost was the woman I used to be. The keys are off the table, the door is finally closed. Not because I stopped loving, but because I finally chose. The road outside is waiting, the night is almost through, and for the first time in forever I'm walking towards something new. I thought I lost my home when I lost you, but I was standing inside myself the whole time. porch light burning like I always used to do. A little piece of hope still waiting there for you. The coffee turned cold beside me. The night became too long. I kept listening for your footsteps even after you were gone. I wore your memories like a jacket through every winter storm, pretending that your absence didn't leave me feeling torn. I kept making excuses for every broken part until I finally realized I was breaking my own heart. The hardest goodbye wasn't when you left. It was the moment I stopped waiting. This was the last night I waited for you. The last night I believed you would come walking through. The last night I blamed myself for a love that couldn't stay. The last night I held on to a dream that faded away. You were my favorite sadness, my beautiful mistake, the promise I protected, the promise you couldn't make. Now the door is closing slowly, and I'm learning something true. Sometimes the person you miss is the person you outgrew. I remember all the mornings when I woke up feeling lost, trying to calculate the value of everything it cost. I gave you all my patience, I gave you all my life. I became your shelter while drowning every night. I forgot the sound of laughter, I forgot my own voice, I forgot that I had dreams before you became my choice. I thought love meant staying, no matter how much it hurts. But a heart can only survive so many silent storms. This was the last night I waited for you. The first night I chose myself, the first thing I knew. The house may still be empty, the memories may remain, but I don't need your return to wash away the pain. I forgive the girl who waited by that old wooden door. She was only searching for the love she deserved. She didn't know tomorrow would bring a different sky. She didn't know a broken heart was learning how to fly. This was the last night I waited for you. The last tear I cried for what we couldn't do. The road is still lonely, the night is still deep, but my heart is finally quiet, and I'm finally free. You were a chapter written in my soul, but I am the story that continues on. I kept the light on until I realized the light was never for you. It was waiting